Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and it's time to talk about Southampton. The Saints have had some elite players in years gone by who were sadly snapped up by bigger clubs, but what if they all went back to St Mary's? We did this experiment on Football Manager 2020, but we're going to do it again, and this time I'm confident it will go a lot better, simply because the players won't be able to leave after about 6 months. Returning to Southampton, we've got Virgil van Dijk, Sadio Mane, Gareth, Bale, Luke Shaw, Adam Lallana, Dusan Tadic, Toby Alderweireld, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Dejan Lovren and Matt Targett. Each player's got a 5-year contract and a future transfer set, and I've also put £30 million in the bank to cover the extra wages. On top of that, I've also brought Mauricio Pochettino back to the club. Can this Super Saints side go on to Premier League glory, or will that be a bridge too far for this team littered with world-class stars? Let's find out. Right, here we are at the start of the simulation, the 27th of July 2020, Mauricio Pochettino back at Southampton with a plethora of stars, and the media only thinks they'll come 10th. I think they should be doing a lot better than that. Gareth, Bale, Sadio Mane and Tadic playing behind Danny Ings, that is a recipe for success, especially if Gareth Bale stays fit. But let's simulate a year into the future. Let's see how the Saints get on with their stars back at St Mary's. Right, here we are at the end of the first season of the simulation, and the Saints have came well and truly marching in, and they're marching all the way to the Champions League. Mauricio Pochettino's Super Southampton side have finished 4th in the league with 70 points, pipping Tottenham and Chelsea to a space in next season's Champions League. They beat Burnley 2-0 on the final day to secure their place in the top 4, as Tottenham and Chelsea also won, which would have seen them jump above the Saints. But Southampton got the job done, they won the final game of the season, and they are going to be playing Champions League football. James Ward-Prowse still the skipper, of course. He's one of the best players that hasn't left Southampton. Dusan Tadic up to vice-captain. Let's see if there's been any joy in any of the cup competitions. No, in the League Cup they were beaten by Fulham on penalties early on. And in the FA Cup they made it to the semi-finals where they were beaten 1-0 by Liverpool. But in the Premier League it's been a wonderful season. To finish 4th is incredible, but with the players they've got, is it really that much of a surprise? I know the media thought they'd come 10th. But realistically, this team has the potential to be playing in the Champions League, and that is exactly what they will be doing next season. The star of the show has been Virgil van Dijk. What a season he's had back on the South Coast. He's turned Liverpool into Premier League and Champions League winners, and for Southampton he's turned them into a Champions League club. An average rating of 7.84, which is better than anyone else in a red and white shirt. Behind him was Dusan Tadic. He's had an excellent season, a player that the Saints shouldn't really have got rid of. He's doing brilliantly at Ajax. Back at St Mary's, 14 goals and 13 assists. Next you've got James Ward-Prowse, he's done well, one of the mainstays of this Southampton team. Then you've got Sadio Mane, who got 17 goals and 9 assists. The top scorer in the entire team, more than Danny Ings. Danny Ings only got 14, but he still played brilliantly. 39 appearances, 14 goals. But not as many strikes as Sadio Mane. Toby Alderweireld, Virgil van Dijk's partner's done well. Højbjerg in front of the defence had a solid season. Adam Lallana hasn't played a lot of football, 18 starts, but he's got 6 goals, which is pretty good. Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's done well, been in and out of the team, mainly used as a substitute. Dejan Lovren, a backup option, played very well. And that is about it for the returning stars. Luke Shaw played a lot of football, just not played very well. 32 starts, and he didn't get past a 7 for an average rating. That'll be disappointing. Matt Targett didn't play much, which is a shame for him. Gareth Bale, it's gone very badly for Gareth Bale, and that is probably the most disappointing thing from this first season. 2 starts, 8 appearances off the bench and only 2 goals. It's been an absolute shambles for Gareth Bale back on the South Coast. Has he had any injuries which have plagued him perhaps? Not massively, he just hasn't featured in Mauricio Pochettino. That's a big shame, to be honest with you. But the rest of the players returning to Southampton have been bloody brilliant, and they're going to be playing in the Champions League next season. So Mauricio Pochettino has laid down a marker with this Super Saints side. Let's go into year 2, let's see if he can kick on what's been an exceptional start for this team. Right, here we are at the end of season 2, the 12th of June 2022, and sadly for Southampton, their Champions League journey is over after a year. The last season they came 4th, This season they've dropped a place in the league. They have came 5th with 67 points. It's been another strong season for the Saints, finishing above Chelsea yet again. They also finished above Everton and Arsenal. But unfortunately Tottenham have jumped them and they have taken their place in the top 4, meaning Southampton are going to have to settle for Europa League football. Mauricio Pochettino still the boss. Virgil van Dijk is now the skipper, replacing James Ward-Prowse. Has there been any joy in any other competitions? Let's find out. They had a hot start of the season, 3 wins on the bounce. They were unbeaten in their first 5 Premier League games. Champions League, they were in a tough group. Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona and AC Milan. That is a very tough group indeed, but they made it out of it, where they were then drawn against Atletico Madrid. Beaten by Atleti in the first knockout round, losing 4-3 on aggregate, so a tight game, which is a shame for them considering the massively difficult group they got through. Elsewhere, they were beaten in the FA Cup final by Liverpool. They beat West Ham 2-1 in the semis thanks to a brace from Danny Ings. But in the FA Cup final, they were beaten by the Reds. It didn't matter that they didn't have Sadio Mane or Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool. They got the job done, winning 2-0 and ensuring Mauricio Pochettino didn't get his hands on a trophy. So that'll have been disappointing. League Cup, how did they do in the League Cup? Knocked out straight away by Burnley. That's a shame, but never mind. Let's see who the stars have been. Yet again, it is Virgil van Dijk, the main man. Sadio Mane has jumped up the queue. He's been the 3rd best player, an average rating of 7.44. Only 13 goals this time will have certainly been an issue. Dusan Tadic got 12 and Danny Ings got 11. So for all the star players here at Southampton, Nebi's goals are an issue. That's 2 seasons in a row that no one's got more than, what was it, the highest last time? It was 17 for Sadio Mane. I mean, that's still a good tally, but considering the attacking talent, you'd maybe want a little bit more. And that might be the reason why they're not going to be playing in the Champions League again. But if we scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice Adam Lallana hasn't featured in the second season. Matthew Targett hasn't featured at all. Chamberlain, not a lot of football, mainly used as a substitute. Gareth Bale, only 1 appearance off the bench. Luke Shaw, it's just not happening for Luke Shaw back on the South Coast. He's doing brilliantly in reality at Man United this season. The best football he's been playing since he broke his leg. But on FM here, not going too well. Dejan Lovren's had an alright time. Only 12 appearances though. He's mainly been a backup option. But he's doing well. Toby Alderweireld's been solid, as has Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. But that is about it. Dusan Tadic, he's done well as well. Keep saying well. But 2 seasons in, this has been solid from Southampton. To finish 4th and get in the Champions League in the first season was excellent. Maybe it was too much too soon, as the second season they've only came 5th. So it's going to be Europa League football, but more chance of winning that than it's going to be the Champions League. They did well in a very difficult group. But let's go into season 2. I want to see more from Sadio Mane. He needs to be pushing Virgil van Dijk to be the best player in this Saints team. Let's see if he can do that. Let's go into season 3. Right, here we are, season 3, the 11th of June 2023. And Southampton have dropped down yet again from 4th to 5th to 6th. But it's still going to be Europa League football, which for Southampton, that is more than enough. I mean, I know they've got some incredible players here. I said I wanted more from Sadio Mane, and he's only gone and bloody given us it. He's got 18 goals to share the golden boot with Fabio Silva. So that is excellent from Sadio Mane. Let's check Southampton out. There's been a change in management. Gianpiero Gasperini is now in the dugout. He replaced Mauricio Pochettino at the start of 2023, with Pochettino getting the sack. Sacrilege by Southampton. They've got all the stars back, and they've got rid of the key component, Mauricio Pochettino. Gasperini has taken his place. He's got Southampton into 6th place. Has he won any trophies? I mean, just said there he hasn't. Let's see how they got on. The Europa League, they were knocked out in the second knockout round by Leipzig. FA Cup beaten in the quarters by Wolves. In the League Cup beaten in the semis by Man United. In the league, it's been a strong season. Europa League, they did well in the group against Marseille, Atalanta and Anderlecht. There were a lot of wins. They clearly had a lot of momentum at the start of the end, and then things kind of tailed off a bit. But still 6th, excellent. Sadio Mane, the best player. Well, Gabriel Barbosa was, but he hasn't played that much, and he's not one of the players we care about. Sadio Mane, 20 goals. He's done what I asked of him. He's hit that 20 goal mark. And he has been the best player at Southampton from the returning figures. Virgil van Dijk, not as good as years gone by, but still very impressive. Dusan Tadic, excellent season, a lot of appearances off the bench. Let's scroll down, let's see how the other returning players have done. Højbjerg, He's gotten worse slightly. A lot of substitute appearances for him. Luke Shaw hasn't gone well. Alderweireld's decreased. Hasn't played a lot of football. That's probably down to the arrival of Wesley Fofana. Matt Targett hasn't played a single minute. Chamberlain only one appearance off the bench. And Dejan Lovren, Gareth Bale and Adam Lallana are just sat at the training ground playing table tennis. Maybe it's a game of cards. Just watching the telly, bit of Netflix. Maybe it's Amazon Prime if they're lucky. Doesn't matter what they're doing, because one thing they're not doing is playing football. Between the three of them, they haven't played a single minute of football all season. Not even a measly little Carabao Cup game for three titans of Southampton's history. Well, that's a wild overstatement. Three good players from Southampton's past. Let's put it that way. So 3 seasons in, Southampton have very much established themselves as a European club. Europa League seems to be their level. They were nowhere near the Champions League this season. They were 11 points shy of Man City, who came fourth. But let's go into season 4. Can they progress, or is this kind of the glass ceiling that we've reached with this team? Because, I mean, time's catching up on them. These players aren't getting any younger. Let's go into year 4. Let's see how they get on. Right, here we are, the 9th of June 2024, and before we see how Southampton got on in the Premier League, you'll notice that the job is available. So there has been a departure at St Mary's. Southampton came 10th. Their worst finish of the simulation so far, meaning they have dropped out of European football. After 3 exceptional seasons, the wheels seem to have fallen off for Southampton. They've came 10th, which is, still pretty solid for a team like Southampton. 13 wins, 13 draws and 12 losses. Pretty inconsistent by the looks of things. They are looking for a new manager. What happened? Gasperini was sacked at the end of the season for this 10th place finish. That is no surprise. Let's see how they got on in the Cups. Knocked out of the League Cup straight away by Leeds. FA Cup, they were beaten in the semi-final by Man United. And in the Europa League, they got all the way to the final, where they were beaten by Barcelona of all people. Barcelona dropped into the Europa League, and goals from Lionel Messi and Richarlison ensured that Southampton wouldn't win their first ever European trophy. To be honest, it's been an awful end of the season for Southampton. From this game here, the 11th of April 2024, they beat Arsenal in the first leg of the Europa League quarter-final. From that moment on, they only won one more game all season. That was a 3-2 win in the Europa League semi-final against Napoli to get them into the final. In the league they crumbled, the FA Cup they crumbled, and when it came down to it in the Europa League final, they were beaten 2-0 by Barcelona. That is why Gasperini has been given the sack. And that is heartache for Southampton. The best players, standard Sadio Mane and Virgil van Dijk. Sadio Mane getting better and better, 23 goals. But those two are the only ones who are consistently playing really and consistently starring. Højbjerg played a bit more football, done well. Matt Targett, 1 game. Chamberlain, 2 appearances off the bench. Tadic, mainly a substitute. 4 years in, and these Southampton players aren't getting used. Luke Shaw's played more than usual, but hasn't played very well. Gareth Bale, no football. Dejan Lovren, no football. And Adam Lallana, no football. So I've got a feeling this could be the end of the cycle for this Southampton team. I know they've got a 5th season, but to be honest with you, I can't see them getting any better. Sadio Mane, 32 now. Virgil van Dijk, also 32. Those two and Højbjerg are the only ones who are consistently starting. So to be honest, I don't even think it's worth looking at season 5. So 4 seasons, 4 very good spells. It would have been 4 very good seasons had they won the Europa League. No trophies to show for themselves, but they got into the Champions League, a 5th place finish, a 6th place finish, and in the final season, it's just gone to pot late on. They could have won the Europa League. They crumbled. They fell down to 10th in the Premier League. And now they are managerless. Mauricio Pochettino got the sack midway through. Personally, I think this Southampton team have done very well. But the more we go on, the returning players aren't the key components. Virgil van Dijk and Sadio Mane are the 2 best players. But the rest of them can barely scramble appearance between them. But if we compare this to the other times we've done this, Sunderland, they got to the Premier League, but they weren't doing any better. Newcastle were very hit and miss. But for Southampton, this super team, it got them into the Champions League. And I think that says it all. But we will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.